Friendship Connector Road injunction is lifted. Central government passes bill to reduce property tax while the Prime Minister says he doesn't mind losing office on the matter. TADCO establishes a very inclusive partnership and a Tobago man to be sentenced for gun and ammunition possession. Good evening, I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards. Welcome to the Tobago Updates television news for Tuesday, March 19th, 2024. Topping the news tonight, the green light has been given for the continuation of the Friendship Connector Road project. A High Court injunction that temporarily stopped the construction was lifted by agreement earlier today. The injunction was initially granted after Derek Hearn, a resident of Friendship Estate, claimed the construction damaged his property and lacked the necessary approvals. The court's decision to lift the injunction followed the Tobago House of Assembly's assurance to avoid Hearn's property, including various structures and an organic farm, until the court fully addresses the matter. The THA argued that halting the project incurred economic penalties and deprived the people of Tobago of a vital road, asserting that the construction did not require specific approvals as it involved upgrading existing roads. This case follows a similar injunction related to EMA approvals, which was also lifted. While staying with the Connector Road project, Kwesi Devines, former Secretary of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development, spoke out regarding the recent halt in construction of the Friendship Connector Road in Tobago amidst a legal dispute over planning permissions and property rights. During his interview with Tobago Updates, Devines revealed some things about the project. Here's more.
Addressing the public on the matter, Devines said the government plays a broader role beyond mere infrastructure development.
Governments are really in place to build societies, not build a road. And in reality, building a society means that, yes, you have to build roads, but the roads serve a purpose. And the roads serve a purpose in many ways. They facilitate business, they facilitate movement of people, they facilitate economic activity, and they even facilitate through the construction sector, which has a great multiplier effect. They facilitate economic growth.
He spoke about the existence of an MOU between the government of Trinidad and Tobago and the Tobago House of Assembly THA for the construction of a dual carriage roadway. This project, initiated by the government, aimed to support the development of the new A&R Robinson International Airport Terminal. He affirmed that due processes were followed in accordance with this agreement.
The fact is that the opportunity cost of the development of this road is $70 million to the people of Tobago because the entire cost was going to be borne by the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Could you imagine, Natalie, if the Prime Minister, we woke up this beautiful Monday morning and the Prime Minister said, you know what, there's traffic going into Chagaramas, we're going to have carnival again soon, or we're going to have anything soon, we're going to build a causeway across the water. That's not how governments work.
Expressing concern over recent developments, Devines highlighted negotiations allegedly being pursued by current THA officials regarding the project.
In the efforts to defend themselves, I'm hearing some frightening things, and things that I think people in Tobago should be really frightened, worried, and concerned about. Because I heard the Secretary when he went live, and kudos to him for trying to be transparent, or what he terms to be transparency, that they are now advancing negotiations with some people for the road to pass.
Based on his experience as a secretary in the THA under the PNM administration, he advised that negotiations for such projects should precede the start of the construction. His remarks shed light on the complexities surrounding the disputes and underscored the need for adherence to proper procedures in infrastructure development initiatives. Travisa Phillips, Tobago Updates Television News.
Now to property tax. More than just reducing it from 3% to 2% of the annual rental value, Parliament passed a bill that included amendments to allow citizens to challenge valuations. Finance Minister Colm Imbert led the motion and explained that these changes aimed to make the property tax process easier for the population. Reporter Candice Jackson has more in this story.
The Movement for Social Justice is not against implementing property tax since they believe it is necessary to fund the maintenance of communities. However, political leader David Abdullah is questioning why government is starting to impose a tax on residential properties instead of commercial and industrial ones.
In any case, by starting off with those who are who have more corn. What it will also enable, because they're a smaller number, 3,000 industrial, 49,000.
All right, that's not the story we intended to share with you. More than just reducing property tax from 3% to 2% of the annual rental value, Parliament passed a bill that included amendments to allow citizens to challenge valuations. Finance Minister Colm Imbert led the motion and explained that these changes aimed to make the property tax process easier for the population. Here's more.
Represent Sunday, 24th March, Glamorgan Youth Foundation Annual Regatta. Only the toughest will survive. Watch as teams viciously compete in various events: triathlon, obstacle course, and bamboo raft race on the Great Dog River. Only the bravest of sea dwellers dare race on the waters of Richmond Bay. Greasy Pole, Pan, after party powered by the Street 91.9 FM Tobago. Cash prizes to be won and so much more. Action starts at 8:30 a.m. down at Richmond Bay. For more information, please contact 375-3835 or 776-9193. So, who will you represent?
It's March Madness at Standard Distributors Limited. Get $100 back for every $1,000 you spend. Major appliance deals on Frigidaire, Hyacinth, Samsung, and more. Plus, same-day financing options available. Don't miss out. Sale ends March 31st. Standard, never beaten on quality and prices.
Tobago on Easter Monday, the 1st of April. We get ready to hush in full bloom. The all-inclusive breakfast party from 5 a.m. till 12 noon at Mount Irvin. Performing live, I Will Joy, because the stage not good again. And Poetic. We don't be young, but we read somebody. Featuring John Boy and Ezel, Assassin and Smalls, Agent B, and Loud and Bashing, Selector 3D, and Snoopy. Tickets are $600. Available at Island E-Tickets, Jade Monkey, Ice Sting, and Ted Arthur's leather stores. For more info, 721-1992. Hush in full bloom. The all-inclusive breakfast party.
Finance Minister Colm Imbert said that after listening to complaints from the population, the central government decided to amend the land and building tax while reducing the residential tax from 3% to 2% of the annual rental value of properties. Imbert said they would not stop the tax. He noted that the task is necessary to fund local government and the THA for residential upkeep. Additionally, he pointed out that previous valuations were outdated and unequal across the country.
I heard over the weekend of somebody who had a parcel of land in Tobago, a 2-acre parcel, and their tax was $1.64. Now, it would cost more than $1.64 to issue the receipt for that 2-acre parcel.
He said even though it increases the amount due, the system ensures equity across all municipal corporations, cities, and Tobago. In addressing complaints about the valuation of properties, he announced that the time frame to challenge it would be extended from 30 days to 6 months.
And this is from the receipt. The first valuations would have been received around November, and therefore if you take the earliest possible valuations, then that takes you to April for disputing a valuation if you got it in November. If you get it in December, May, if you got it in January, June, and so on.
The bill also included provisions to extend this time frame should it be necessary. The 6-month window also applies when taxes should be paid and when penalties accrue. The time frame for addressing the challenge has also been extended from 6 months to 12 months, with several avenues for residents to pursue, starting with the Valuation Tribunal.
If you are dissatisfied with the decision of the Valuation Tribunal, then you appeal to the High Court, and so on and so on. You can then bring challenges to the Board of Inland Revenue by way of objection. If you are still dissatisfied, you go to the Tax Appeal Board. And if you are still dissatisfied with that, you appeal to the High Court.
Due to the change in property tax valuation, Imbut said the Board of Inland Revenue was advised to hold off on sending out notices until the legislation is adjusted. Meanwhile, he noted that despite some public education about the property tax, some people remain confused when they receive their annual rental valuation documents and subsequent property tax valuation.
They showed me their valuation, their annual rental value, and their tax assessment. I said, but that's not two notices of tax. The first one is your land valuation, and the second one is your tax notice. And I'm saying we're talking about highly educated people. So
he urged citizens to ignore speculation about the property tax and pay attention to factual information. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
The opposition did not support the Property Tax Amendment Bill 2024 because they believe it does not address the public's concerns about the tax. Opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar listed several discrepancies with the bill, which also included typographical errors. Here's more.
Minister of Finance Com Imbut stated that amendments to the Land and Building Tax Act became necessary following some teething issues. This resulted in Parliament debating the Property Tax Amendment Bill 2024. However, opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar slammed the government for still having problems after developing the Land and Building Act since 2009.
After 15 years, teething issues, are you for real? Are you for real? This is ludicrous. You have teething problems.
Labeling it poverty tax, Persad-Bissessar accused the finance minister of not truly listening to the concerns of the people as he claimed in the bill.
So the minister said, listen, today we will not be debating this, what is contained in this bill. We will be debating and changing the basis of the assessment. That is what the major concern has been.
The opposition leader pointed out that since citizens began receiving valuations of their properties in November 2023, there have been extensive complaints about how the rental valuations were derived.
Grossly overstated values, multiple notices with different values, discrepancies, variations that make no sense to people that have terrorized people with high rates.
The bill extended the time frame for residents to contest the valuations of their properties from 30 days to 6 months. But Persad-Bissessar questioned whether the Board of Inland Revenue was equipped to handle such tasks.
Would the Inland Revenue have the staffing and the resources to do what they're going to be mandated to do with these amendments?
Additionally, she noted that despite the legislation of a valuation tribunal, citizens do not yet have the right to contest the valuations.
You're sending out assessment notices, you're telling them, look, you have a chance to appeal to the commissioner and then you could appeal to the tribunal, but there's absolutely no tribunal established. Will the minister tell us when that tribunal will be established?
Persad-Bissessar criticized the government for rushing the bill's debate, only notifying the parliament on Friday about the amendments. She knocked the bill's contents, stating there were typographical errors among the clauses which will warrant another amendment. All 15 opposition MPs voted against the bill. However, it was passed with 20 votes from the government. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Still to come, IDA political leader and a former assemblyman call out the Chief Secretary on recent remarks at a public meeting. Stay with us.
Hey, hello guys, welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive collection, now exclusively available at Standard.
Scrub Ties brings to you our organic fat dissolving shots. Yes guys, our lemon butter shots breaks down stubborn fat, tightens any loose skin while increasing your metabolism. No side effects, no downtime. We also offer cavitation, cellulite treatment, butt, breast, hip dip fillers, weight loss, fertility IVs, and much more. Contact us on 495-6624 or follow us on Instagram at Scrub Ties Body Contouring.
These pages be home.
Welcome back. The Innovative Democratic Alliance chastised the Chief Secretary Farley Augustine for recent remarks at a TPP meeting on Sunday. The IDA noted that some of Augustine's statements were directed towards IDA political leader Dr. Denise Soyafat Angus. Meanwhile, former Assemblyman Max James has also condemned the Chief Secretary for said remarks. Here's more.
The IDA issued a media release today condemning what they termed disrespectful remarks made by the interim political leader of the Tobago People's Party, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine. According to the IDA, Augustine made disparaging remarks towards its political leader, Dr. Denise Soyafat Angus, and economist Dr. Varnish James. They alleged that the following remark was directed at Dr. James.
There are some voices who feel that they are the only gurus on autonomy. And if they ain't talk, then the thing ain't going good. And if them ain't leading it, then it ain't good. I'm saying to you Tobagonians, especially young Tobagonians, we are looking for young Tobagonians to lead the conversation.
Max James also condemned Augustine's remark, saying it was uncalled for.
So you don't want to cloud your message by making those uncalled for, as we say in tennis, unforced errors. You could have simply said, I want the young people to be more involved. And we'll be glad to have them more involved. And then you begin to put structures and systems in place to ingratiate the young people on this whole question of autonomy.
The IDA stated that Augustine's irreverence to the elders who supported and paved the way for his campaign cannot be overlooked, noting that Augustine's words only deepened the division and distracted from the real issues. The release also addressed remarks made towards Dr. Soyafat Angus regarding a letter her party sent to the Prime Minister calling for the THA to be a part of the National Security Council. Here's what Chief Secretary Farley Augustine had to say about this letter.
Dr. Delulu, who nobody voted for, who don't even have 1% of support, writing the Prime Minister to say, well, she's writing on behalf of Tobagonians.
Augustine said he would like to see the Prime Minister will consent to Dr. Soyafat Angus's letter versus the one he sent earlier this year. The IDA said that the safety and security of the island must be prioritized above petty politics and personal attacks. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
Back to the topic of property tax. While the government and opposition battle each other over the implementation of the tax, one political party is questioning why industrial and commercial properties are not being targeted first. Political leader of the Movement for Social Justice, David Abdullah, criticized the government's decision to target residential properties in the first phase of implementing the property tax.
The Movement for Social Justice is not against implementing property tax since they believe it is necessary to fund the maintenance of communities. However, political leader David Abdullah is questioning why government is starting to impose a tax on residential properties instead of commercial and industrial ones.
In any case, by starting off with those who have more con, what it will also enable, because they're a smaller number, 3,000 industrial, 49,000 commercial, it means that you could get that right before you try to tackle that huge number of 400,000 in terms of getting the base upon which you're going to calculate the tax estimated correctly.
Abdullah explained that those earning income from their properties are naturally better positioned to pay taxes than residents with modest or low-income homes. He questioned if there was anything sinister in this decision.
One of the reasons why one party says absolutely no property tax, and why the government doesn't want to tax commercial and industrial users is because of party financing, and the owners of those places finance the parties and they don't want their party finances to be touched.
Abdullah is also bothered by the calculation of the property tax. Parliament recently changed the tax rate from 3% of the property's annual rental value to 2%. However, the formula for determining the property's rental value does not seem to be clear to the MSJ political leader.
But I don't recall that there was any process of serious public discussion involving real estate agents, valuators, and homeowners, property owners, the business community, and so on, different chambers, to discuss in a very real way what is the best methodology of arriving at a base figure upon which property tax would be calculated.
He called for the government to be transparent about their methodology to determine the rental value of properties. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Well, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says his government will push ahead with instituting property tax even if it means losing the next general election. He made these comments last evening while debating the Property Tax Bill 2024 in Parliament.
We are not afraid of being voted out for having done the right thing for this country. And I make no bones about that, Madam Speaker, because we believe that as we do the right thing for this country, enough people will see that we've done the right thing for this country and will make sure we stay in control.
Dr. Rowley told Parliament that the only way local government can be funded sufficiently to meet the needs of its burgesses is through property tax. He explained that the central government is currently unable to fund local government properly.
We are dealing with a deficit budget. The development program as passed by the Parliament is at the mercy of the revenue collected in that year, in that month, in that week. So yes, it's true. Local government suffers from an absence of a steady revenue stream. And Madam Speaker, that is what this property tax is all about.
Dr. Rowley also criticized opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar for complaining about the time frame given to prepare for the debate of the motion. She stated that parliamentarians were only notified on Friday, which did not give them sufficient time to evaluate the legislation thoroughly.
If there's one subject that the opposition should be versed in and be able to speak, even if they are waking in the middle of the night, is property tax. Because they tasted government on an Axe the Tax campaign.
Despite the opposition's objections, the bill was passed, allowing the property tax to be reduced from 3% to 2% of the annual rental valuation of residential properties. You're watching the Tobago Updates Television News. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. More news after this.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Do more, live more.
Thanks for staying with us. Bruce McLean, a 35-year-old fisherman from Main Road, Mason Hall, pleaded guilty yesterday before Master Sarah De Silva in the Scarborough High Court to possession of a revolver and 4 rounds of ammunition. Police encountered McLean on March 14th during an exercise in Mount Grace near Harmony Hall Junction. McLean was observed sporting a black strap bag across his chest. When approached by police, he attempted to flee but was apprehended. A subsequent search led to the discovery of a wooden handle, .38 revolver, and 4 rounds of .38 ammunition, resulting in his immediate arrest. He was arrested on March 14th and charged on March 15th by Sergeant Jonas of the Scarborough Criminal Investigations Department. McLean was remanded into custody and is awaiting sentencing, which is scheduled for April 4th, 2024. Well, all primary schools and private examination centers will be closed on Wednesday, March 20th, 2024 to conduct safety and quality checks before the secondary entrance assessment examination. The Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association shared their thoughts on the matter. Their president, Martin Lumpkin, said he found it irregular that schools will be closed the day before SEA. The reason behind the closure of schools was not disclosed. However, we contacted Tobago Tutor Officer Braden Roberts for his thoughts on the matter.
There may be other information on the ground has not been disclosed. That's my understanding. It's not something I would want to query, understanding what has been happening in our schools with the various threats and so on.
Roberts stated that while Tutor has not been given information about the reason behind the closure of schools, based on what is happening, it is not something he's ready to question. The Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries hosted an online event today via Facebook outlining aspects of the agro-incentive grants available to those working in the agricultural sector. Agricultural Assistant 3 Dexter Sam explained more about this grant and how persons can apply. Here's more.
Dexter Sam informed attendees that the agro-incentive grant goes up to $100,000 and explained the objectives of this incentive.
1. To increase the local production, focusing on market stability, reduction in the food import bill, less need for foreign exchange, increased export potential, etc.
He stated that this grant also aims to modernize and create a competitive agricultural sector which would build globally competitive farms and agribusinesses and encourage the use of modern technologies, equipment and techniques.
Investment in modern farming technology or efficient on-farm upgrades and expansion, resisting climate change, increasing production, improving quality, meeting increased demands. 2. Reduction in reliance on labor, example automation, mechanical.
He listed the criteria for applying for the agro-incentive grant.
Registered farmers who has a farmer's badge from the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, registered fishermen who are registered with the Fisheries Division with the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. Their vessel must also be registered.
Licensed woodcutters, sawmillers and agro-processors with a food badge can also apply. The application forms are available via the Ministry of Agriculture's website and can be dropped off at the nearest Agricultural Development Bank along with the applicant's reasons for applying. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
The weather report is next.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off. Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Now for the weather report from the TNT Met Office. Tonight, expect generally clear and cool conditions with the possibility of a few showers. Temperatures are anticipated to drop to 25 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow, look forward to a predominantly sunny day, slightly hazy and occasionally breezy, despite a low chance of scattered showers. A mild to moderate concentration of Saharan dust is present in the atmosphere. Daytime temperatures are expected to reach 32 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 36 degrees. Seas will be moderately rough with the potential to become choppy. Wave heights will be around 2 meters in open waters and near 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sunrise is at 6:06 and the sunset at 6:13. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Let's recap the headlines before we go. Friendship Connector Road injunction is lifted. Central government passes bill to reduce property tax, while the Prime Minister says he doesn't mind losing office on the matter, and a Tobago man to be sentenced for gun and ammunition possession. I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards, thanking you so much for joining us and wishing you a great night.